I've been thinking something about masked characters in fiction. They can achieve, especially in visual media, and your tabletop role-playing can be visual. Certainly, I hope by now I have gotten some examples that will be playing behind me throughout this whole episode. But yes, in visual media, masks, or rather a mask, can provide something that usually you have to work much harder for to a sort of different result, usually. Like if you want to have an alien race from outer space to be unique, to be eccentric, to be weird and bizarre and alien, as it were, you need to usually work for it a lot. And yet then you have to have the whole race exist. However, if you want a character that has these traits, but you don't need to want to or wish to have a race such as that, you want unique character, then a mask will do that. Because if a character is always wearing a mask, as opposed to, say, players who occasionally wear one for, a fancy quest that involves masks, it's not the same thing. If this character is always under a mask, then it becomes their identity, their face to the party. And as such, it defines their personality, their outlook, their customs, their expression, self-expression. And that self-expression can be quite dramatically different than what we usually have in faces of characters normally, because it can be more alien, more weird than what we usually even see on people that are represented as alien or weird, like in Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever. We can have masks easily in any mundane campaign that are weirder than almost any sci-fi alien humanoid represented in such things. Isn't that amazing? And what you can do with it. And this doesn't need to be a distant entity. It can be a closest party member to your players. That's a trick I love from experience. You can have a character that is very actually personal and close to them. It just has a mask. For a reason, some reason that is necessary for that person. It's not like they are wearing it to hide from them or something. No, it's just something they need to have. And then you can go into detail, but the point is that that mask will add grandeur and distortion and weirdness and whatever else you want to a person that is otherwise friendly or meek or soft or whatever. It can be completely opposite, and there's a reason to sort of put up with it. Except it's not putting up with it, it's inverted. It's like enhancing it by contrast, glorifying it, inviting interest, inviting care, inviting mind space to just think about this concept, think what is behind the mask, what is in front of the mask. What does this say about the person? Because we always look at the faces of our close ones to judge their mood, their intention, their feelings, their personality, their how they live through life and what they present. And then you as a DM, you have so much space with this, so much design space, that usually you do not get with the face of a character. So, therefore, besides the usual stuff that I didn't even mention, besides the usual man of mystery, woman of secrets, completely outside of all that, this is something that we can really, really research at length, just from these facets of that being a face, of that being a face, of that being a face replacement. And indeed, the real face in some cases. So, as such, recontemplate the mask once again, for your own use and on every character you have seen it on thus far. Maybe you already saw, but I've seen and like from some works such a demonstration. Maybe this is the first time you're thinking of how useful it can be, and we'll implement it later. maybe not. But at any rate, adventure, if you thought this was useful or unique, maybe you can spare me a click and I could see you here next or even every week, because every week I have more such DM musings for you. I make them myself. I'm Em, and welcome to DM Table. See you next time.